Hello everyone and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It is officially 2020. I've worn glasses since I was like 2.5 years old, and for the first time ever, I've got 2020 vision. Guess how many times I've made that joke? I love any opportunity to start again and refresh and set new goals and get yourself kind of back in the zone. And I love like Monday mornings because I feel like that's the start of a new week. I love the beginning of the month, and especially I love the beginning of a new year, a new decade. And so this morning I'm going to be spending some time getting myself organised for the big 2020. It is currently the 2nd of January, but day one is like a trial run, right? It's your free trial, and I didn't cancel it. I did spend most of the day asleep because I was so shattered from New Year's Eve. So yeah, this is the official, like we're doing it for real now. So let's get started.
On tonight's program, ladies and gentlemen, we have something that's going to make you sick.
Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do today is get my yearly planner and start planning out some New Year's resolutions and like blocking out the times that I'm going to be away this year, because I've got a bit of travel planned and in the diary already, so I need to actually put it in the diary. So I'm going to be using my yearly planner, which is just beautiful, may I say. I should also say that I did actually design it, so I probably would think that. Hopefully you agree though. I am obsessed with this. It's honestly, for me, like I designed what I thought would be the perfect yearly planner, so it has all the features that I think you could ever possibly need. And super excitingly, because it is January, because I'm uploading every working day in January, I have got an exclusive offer for you guys where you can get one of these for 50% off. That is huge. That's the biggest offer we have ever and will ever do. Like, that's mad. All you have to do when you go onto the website is use the code JACUARY when you check out, so JACKUARY, and you can get 50% off one of these yearly planners and start organising your year. I'm going to kind of show you in this video, I guess, what features it has, because I'm going to be using them. But yeah, hopefully you love it, and I've tried to make it as accessible for you guys as possible by making it as cheap as I possibly can. So yeah, use the code JACUARY for 50% off. Okay, hello down there. I needed to find a camera angle where you can actually see the diary, so like, I'm just up here. But basically I'm going to start by writing in my New Year's resolutions for the year. In the planner there's actually this page that says New Year's resolutions, and I wanted to do this because for me, I find writing things down makes me so much more likely to do them, and also it'll be such a nice thing to refer back to at the end of the year. So I'm going to write down my sort of New Year's resolutions and my goals for the year on here, and hopefully that means that they become a reality at some point. My first one is to read 115 books. The next one is a personal goal, which maybe sounds a little bit superficial, but because it is like my hobby, one thing I would really love to do is hit 250,000 subscribers on YouTube. Like 250,000 is just an absurd number, so that would be so cool if we could do that. Another one, I'd really like to graduate. I'd really love to graduate this year. If I could graduate with a first, I would be absolutely elated. I got a first last year, so I'm praying I can continue that. Number 4 is kind of to make a future for myself. I need to get a job or get into a master's, so that's going on there. 5, I want to meet every deadline. I don't want to be late for anything. Number 6 is to put in the hours at the gym. I feel like I slacked a little bit at the end of the year, but in 2020 I want to see like actual change and be like proud of myself and how I've like worked out and stuff, so that's going on there. Number 7 is to start the conversation. Like, I've been really bad at keeping in contact with people or leaving messages not replied to, like, because I love reading comments and everything that people tweet to me, and as a result sometimes I don't actually see like texts that I'm sent from like close friends of mine, and I forget to reply, and that's something that I really want to stop doing. Like, one of my worst traits is that I will see a text and then not reply to it instantly, because I'm like, oh, I'll reply to that later when I've got time or whatever, and I need to just reply to people straight away. Equally, starting the conversation more, checking in on people, checking in on friends, making sure they're all good, and keeping in contact with people, because being at uni does mean that you can so easily lose contact with people when you're living sort of like long distance from them. This year I also want to hold an Access event, something to do with accessing higher education, making it less intimidating for people, sort of what I've been trying to do with my YouTube channel, but I want to make an actual event that people can come to That's a big goal of mine for this year. And my final one at the moment is don't say it, just do it. And this is something that basically in Death of a Salesman, the play by Arthur Miller, there's a scene where Willie has a conversation with Bernard, who is about to head off to the Supreme Court because he's a lawyer, and he doesn't actually tell Willie that he's doing that. Bernard's dad, Charlie, says he doesn't have to say it, he's just going to do it. And I saw the play recently on the West End, and I really liked that. Like, I feel like sometimes you can get so caught up in saying all of these things that you're going to do and, you know, talking about it all, but actually just going ahead and doing it and then talking about it later. Like, yeah, I don't think you need to prove yourself to anyone. I think just striving for your own goals and your own targets, and then, you know, don't say it, just do it. And one of the really cool features of the yearly planner is that I added this habit tracker section. And so basically every month you've got like every single day of the month laid out, and then sections to write in the different habits. And basically I've never used one of these before, but I've heard they're so good, and so I really wanted to give it a go this year. So basically I'm going to pop in habits that I want to do in 2020. For example, get enough sleep, go to bed at the same time every night and wake up at the same time every morning if I can. Things like going to the gym, reading a minimum of like 20 pages of a book each day. So I'm going to write those in, and then if I do them on a day, then I can tick that habit. And then basically the idea is that you make those things into habits and they just become part of your like routine and lifestyle. So I'm really going to give this a go, and I'm going to start filling this out right now. So just as an idea, a few things that I've written down are like go to the gym, get a minimum of 8 hours sleep, wake up by 7 AM every morning. I really want to get into a routine of like when I wake up, because I'm so bad at that. Reading 20+ pages per day, that kind of thing. So hopefully quite manageable. Actually, I might add like keeping my room tidy, because I'm not great at that either. Yeah, I just think that it would be a good way of feeling like you're achieving something by doing something relatively small that don't necessarily feel like achievements at the time, but when you look at it over the course of a month, you'll be like, actually, you know what? Yeah, I smashed that. That's why I think a habit tracker could be really good for me, because personally, I'm very competitive like with myself. And if I set a goal for myself, like I have to do it, I have to complete it. So hopefully, fingers crossed, this does work for me. This is an odd camera angle. Basically, the next thing I need to do is on my laptop. And what I'm going to do is go over my university reading lists. And so at the beginning of the year, I made a whole document with all of the books that I needed to read. And then as I finish one, I like highlight it in green and that kind of thing. So I'm just going to go back over them and make sure that I'm on track and I know what I need to read and by when. And then normally what I do at the beginning of each individual week is go on to, so within the planner there's these daily, weekly kind of spreads. Yes, I did just hit myself in the face with the planner, but at the top of each week there's like a blank section with just 3 lines. And each week I just write the reading that I need to do on there. So I'm going to fill it in the reading that I need to do in January, and hopefully utilize this time period where there's slightly less work to get ahead of the game with reading. Basically, so my future self will thank me. So this is kind of what my reading lists look like. I made these myself because I found the way that the university sent them out to us so confusing. But yeah, I basically highlight it in yellow if it's like pending, if I'm currently reading it, and green it. Oh, I've actually read these 5, so I can highlight those in green. So yeah, I'm going to pop you over here so that I can write these down and get prepped for the coming month. Okay, so that is all done, and now basically the next thing that I'm going to do is to convert that onto my Goodreads account. So basically on Goodreads you can track the books that you want to read and books that you're currently reading. So basically what I'm going to do is at the top add the books that I'm going to read this week. So this week I want to read The Memorial by Christopher Isherwood, Trainspotting, which I'm really excited to read, and A Journal of the Plague Year by Daniel Defoe. So I'm going to start off with 3 books and have those on the go. And then as you can see, those are just in my currently reading. If you did want to follow me, then I will leave my link down below, but if not, don't worry about it. The next thing that I need to do is basically go through my calendar and block out dates that I know that I'm away for or that I've got plans for, and add in things like my term dates and things like that. And so pick your weapon. Mine is pastel stabilo highlighters. Doing any kind of organisation without these would be like a builder turning up to a construction site without his tools. I would feel lost, I would feel useless, so I'm going to use these highlighters and do that. Okay, so here we have January, and I have a sort of monthly spread for the month. And so what I'm going to do is basically fill in when I've got plans for the month, just so I can see a kind of overview. Okay, my memory card died, but we're back. I'm ready to do it all over again. Basically, what I need to do next is fill in this week's plan. Basically, in this planner, you have every day a section to fill in like time, activities you need to do, and then there's a separate to-do list every single day. Also, I realised that the background is a bit of a mess, and that is because I'm going skiing tomorrow, so literally all my stuff is just everywhere. But yes, I'm going to do that, and then after that, my next task is to clear up my digital space. So I have files freaking everywhere, and I tried to organise, so I have like one master folder for like university year 3 and then a different folder for each module, but as time goes on, naturally things get saved in the wrong place, or something that shouldn't be in there gets saved, and I want to do a massive print session in a couple of days where I print off all my notes from last term. So I'm going to do a bit of a digital clear up in a bit, and then a real life world clear up by tidying up my room, because I think that it is good to have a clean working environment, especially because I'm going away tomorrow. Like, I want to come back to a room that is like tidy. So yeah, those are the next few things on my to-do list. The first one being make the to-do list. Okay, that is donezo. Sorted. And that wraps up today's video. Thank you so much for watching. This has been how I'm starting to get organised for 2020. I hope that you enjoyed it. I hope that maybe it inspired you to get motivated to get organised. As I said at the beginning of this video, we have an exclusive offer on the yearly planners. If you did want to get yourself one to get organised, they are genuinely the perfect planner for this year. So all you have to do is head to inkoutsidethebox.co.uk and use the code JACKUARY when you check out. If you do order one, please let me know in the comments down below, or on Twitter or on Instagram, so that I can share it and say thank you to you, because I really appreciate it. But for now, this has been Jackuary Day 2. I will see you at 5 PM tomorrow. Have a lovely day, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.
In case I don't see ya, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.